It's the Progress Pod, a production of the Franklin County Coalition for Progress. I'm Pete Mazzoni with Jeremy Cate. On today's show, we're talking tourism in Franklin County. With us, we have Doug Harmon, Director for the Certified Tourism Ambassador Program at the Franklin County Visitors Bureau, and Angie Lynch, Executive Director of the Chambersburg Area School District Foundation, to tell us about some of the great activities in the place we call home, and about the new Certified Tourism Ambassador Program in Franklin County. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
So let's talk about, I guess I want to start out with the impact of tourism on Franklin County and why it's so important.
Well, tourism plays a big role in Franklin County from jobs. There's 5,000 jobs in the hospitality sector. It's a $320 million industry. It's a very circular feel. A lot of people only think about tourism when you get in your car and you drive away on a trip of some kind. But believe it or not, we're a destination for... So they say Franklin County, what they say about Franklin County is location, location, location. In real estate, they kind of say the same thing. We happen to be centrally located where if you've lived here for a while or if you've lived here most of your life, you can jump in your car and you can travel to a lot of major metropolitan areas in a day and come home in the same day. But guess what's happening? The complete opposite is happening. There's a lot of people who are leaving the cities, not only moving here, but coming here for all the great recreation opportunities that we have.
Mm-hmm. Is that $320 million what is spent locally on tourism?
That's in Franklin County. That's the estimate for Franklin County.
Wow, that is a big number.
That is a big number.
And so how do you go out and market it? Franklin County?
Well, we're actually funded through what's called a hotel tax. And some people may have the impression that it is a local tax when in actuality it's not. Mm-hmm. It's actually what's called a pass-through tax, and it's a tax on hotel stays, how many individuals might sleep in a hotel throughout the year that is a non-Franklin County zip code, and then there's a certain percentage that's passed on down to us.
Okay. And then to the question, how do you go out and how do you sell us?
Well, we sell through a variety of ways. Of course, digital. We have a big following on Facebook, so we'll just mention a little bit about the social media.
Why don't you give your Facebook page and your website while
we're
talking?
So our Facebook page, we go by Ben Franklin.
Okay.
To kind of take advantage of the reason why we're called Franklin County. When people are looking for Franklin County, though, we've gotten some feedback that a lot of people aren't really looking for Ben Franklin.
I'll be honest with you, I found it a little confusing.
Right. And we know that. But this 1130
that works.
Hashtag that we've
good.
Been using for the past, let's just say few years, it is kind of trending, if you will. So we are discussing about maybe re-identifying or rebranding some of the social media tags.
Do it.
Because I know on Instagram, we're Franklin County Tourism, and then I think we're also Franklin County Tourism on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And our website is it's kind of long, but it's called explorefranklincountypa.com.
Okay, so that's where they can find out what's going on.
Right. And also want to mention how we get the word out. We have an events calendar. So if you are any organization that has a tourism angle, or if you're a nonprofit that has an event that draws people into the area, please email me. We don't have it set up yet so that you can actually go on the website and log the information on your own.
Okay.
So you have to email us. My email, again, it's long. It's dharmon, but I'll talk slow.
Okay.
It's dharmon@explorefranklincountypa.com. Was that slow enough, you think?
I got it. I'm ready to email
Angie,
you something.
Did you get that, Angie?
I did get it.
Okay,
Thank you, Doug.
perfect. I'm doing all the talking.
Well, let's bring you in here and let's talk about, you go by Angie?
I do.
Angie, let's talk about your partnership with Doug.
Great. Well, Doug and I have worked together close to a decade now, I think.
Has it been that long?
It has been
been
that long.
I still look good, right?
You do.
Okay.
You do. And time has gone by very quickly. We first started working together with some chamber activities, and when Doug took this new role, and I started to learn from him about the CTA opportunity, the Certified Tourism Ambassador, I got excited about that simply because I think this is a great place to live and work. And I think it's fabulous to be able to network and share that passion for our community with others. I really loved the training that Doug provides, which is like a 4-hour opportunity to have folks join the program.
It's fun too, right?
It's super fun, and you get to meet lots of really great folks. And for me, in addition to some things I've already mentioned, I love history. And because we have such a historically rich community, and the training really focuses on, let's turn that concept of there's nothing to do around here, let's turn that around and explain to everybody what there really is to do. And so much of that is historically based, so that is right up my alley.
Sure.
So.
And you know what? I call that the hometown syndrome.
That is common to any place. If you've lived there long enough, you can't see the forest for the trees after a while.
So I'll give you a typical example. Gettysburg, right? Gettysburg is awesome. We love Gettysburg. So a lot of people might think, since we're a separate county from Gettysburg, yes, Gettysburg is actually in Adams County and not in Franklin County. But if you're traveling here, you probably wouldn't know the difference, obviously. So we love Gettysburg. A lot of people get dumped off on 81 at exits 16, 17, 20, wherever you want to say. And when most people are traveling, they don't really have their itinerary 100% complete. They build in some time.
Roam a little,
right. But a huge portion of the traffic that it's on its way to Gettysburg comes through Chambersburg. And it just so happens that there's a lot of Civil War and Revolutionary War in Franklin County to keep people here for a couple days. So this Certified Tourism Ambassador Program is a grassroots marketing strategy to train locals on how to answer questions from tourists. So the cliche of, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression is actually true.
Yeah.
So imagine you've traveled somewhere you've never been before and you're treated poorly, or people are not nice to you. Even if you're just traveling through, you have to stay in a hotel overnight if it's a long trip. You're hungry. If you get the wrong information, what are the chances are that you're going to stop there again?
Right. Not good.
It decreases. And psychologically, a person is more likely to tell people about a negative experience versus a positive experience.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about this program, the CTA program. What is it? What are its goals? How can people get involved? Let's get into it.
So it's CTA, Certified Tourism Ambassador Program, and it's been around for about 12 years. It's headquartered in Tucson. They do a national convention out there every year in November, and they make me go. So, it's a pretty hard life.
They made you go to Tucson in November?
Yes, they made me go to Tucson
the
in
agony.
November. Yeah, the agony. Right now, there's over 30 different destinations participating in the program, and each destination kind of modifies what they have to offer into a training program. There's some reading material that you receive prior to going through the certification. Over the years, there's been 50,000 individuals who have gone through the program. And as of right now, there's probably about 17,000 or 18,000 active individuals who have gone through the program. Basically, if I were to describe it to you in one word, it would be pride. Okay. It's a pride program. Again, to get back to that, the major objective, again, is to make every visitor experience the best that it can ever be. Specifically, it comes down to being pretty simple. So someone comes through the door, we ask them, what do you like to do? So they might say, well, we like an Italian restaurant on a full moon in Mercersburg. Something along those lines. So this program trains you about, knowing where all the local spots are, where all the destinations are. And it's kind of like a fraternity in a way.
And anyone can sign up and go through the program?
Anyone, someone, no one. We'll take anyone.
Okay.
Or everyone.
And you've been through the program, Angie?
Why, yes, I have.
Okay, so tell us, what were some of the highlights of the program? What are some things you learned maybe you didn't know?
First, was I didn't know the folks at our table at the training. Doug does a great job of giving assigned seats, and I tried to be one of those people that I was going to try to move my seat.
To sit beside someone she knows. What better way than to get a group of people together and you have to sit beside someone you don't know?
So
That's the comfort zone
that's
thing.
right. So I sat with 7 other people, none of whom I knew. So that was great. You get to learn from the first person perspective of what other people think is really valuable in Franklin County and what some of their highlights are. And then going through the formal training, there's some mini quizzes and there was some reading that's assigned in advance. And a lot of that is destination related. So,
So then how do you apply this? I mean, so now you're a CTA. How do you actually go out into the world and,
So we've been in a recruitment phase for the first 12 to 18 months, and you get to the point where you as an ambassador have to decide if you want to renew your certification. So this isn't just a one and done. It's not a one-off thing. It's something that you go through for the first time, and we want people to become involved, to be volunteers at the center, or to help out with some of the subcommittees we formed. So what we did is we sent out a survey to all the CTAs for them to vote on or rank whatever projects or other things that they might want to put their hands on. So a couple things came up. First one was we do a newsletter. So there are several history buffs, let's say, or other individuals or writers or editors who are a part of the program, and they signed up to help us out with the newsletter. People to go out and do restaurant reviews, to do shopping reviews. This helps us on the back end with content.
right, for your website and for your social
Evergreen
media?
content, right, for us to build up a database. One of the best things that we get out of this is with social media. I think I was talking about social media early. So that's one of the things that we will do for any, there's over 500 what we call destinations, whether it be dining, shopping, lodging in Franklin County alone. So that's 1.5 social media posts a day. So we do try to highlight as many businesses that are in the news, or like if you're remodeling, we do help a lot of organizations. We'll print your brochures and we'll design them for free.
Great.
Just so you know that.
I just learned something. Thanks, Doug. What
Well,
a
you're
great
welcome.
service.
I'm not so sure the foundation is a destination place that people will go, but we'll think about it since you're CTA.
Public education.
Public education.
Isn't a destination.
You're darn right it is.
People come to Chambersburg and they stay because our K through 12 public education is exceptional.
Well, let me switch directions just for a second here. I want to come back around to this, how the ambassadors go to work, but you're the Chambersburg Area School District Foundation. Can you tell us what that is?
I absolutely can. We were founded in 1991 as a support organization for the school district. So we are technically a 501c3 organization, nonprofit, but we exist solely to support the school district. So we spend most of our time and our energy raising funds for special projects that relate to scholarships, teacher grants, and other initiatives. So our special initiative this year, we're doing a literacy program. Our annual campaign goal is $100,000, and we're hoping to raise that amount of money in order to buy take-home mini libraries for every child in K through 5th grade.
Oh, that's great.
We know that 2/3 of the achievement gap in 9th grade is due to a lack of literacy earlier in elementary school. So even having as small as a number of 2 to 3 books in a child's home and having them immediate access, it really does help prevent summer slide, which of course is the loss of academic abilities and proficiency over the summer months.
Yeah. Yeah, is selling, our school district part of the program, or is trying to promote that aspect of Franklin County?
For me, I think it's become. I didn't anticipate when Doug asked me to join the CTA program that would in fact be part of my role. I just looked at myself as a private citizen. But I found attending events and spending time in the visitor center and attending other community programs that people will ask me, especially they see Chambersburg School District on my name tag. They don't necessarily see the word foundation, so they're asking questions then as it relates to public education and the things that we offer, our academic offerings, our co-curricular, and I think it's been a great opportunity for me to share with people that when you are in it, you don't often realize the fabulous resources that you have. So people who are local maybe sometimes have questions about education that may come up. But also, we've talked to probably, I don't know, in the 8 months I've been in the program, I probably talked to 8 or 10 folks that have either called or that I've seen at a CTA related event that they've been here, they're visiting, they're looking to come to the area, and they have very specific questions about the school district. What sort of advanced placement courses do you offer? Oh, I heard you have an international baccalaureate diploma program. Can you tell me more about that? People have questions about taxes. They want to know what the teacher-student ratio is. So even though I didn't anticipate sharing that information, it has become a part of my role, I think.
Okay, so thank you. Let's get back around to you're a CTA now, and you can help with newsletters and social media. What are some of the other things that you send the CTAs out to do?
Well, to kind of go on the social media again, there are we have a fair amount of young people who have gone through the program, and social media and young people kind of go hand in hand. So we set up a social media committee, and we have individuals who will go out and when they're out in the right circumstance in a tourism-related destination area, maybe take a photo. We have a hashtag, Visit Franklin County, PA, and the other hashtag is Explore Franklin County, PA. So the word gets out to all their friends, and then if they want us to share it on our social media, they just let me know, and we give them credit for it. So that's another benefit of being an ambassador, is the publicity. If you work somewhere, like we have Samantha Mooney from 25 Penn Marketing, she probably doesn't even know she was going to get this plug, but she's also on our social media committee, and she handles a lot of the digital media for 25 Penn and Franklin Shopper. Okay. The other, there's actually two more. One of them hasn't really gotten off the ground yet, but the last one that's really going to take hold is a revitalization or destination cares committee. Here's where we're trying to find destinations that need an army of volunteers to come in and help. It's already happening. Renfrew in Waynesboro. They have a lot of sites on their property that aren't even open to the public because they don't have enough people. There's lots of people coming in that could view all they have to offer on the site, but they only have enough people on staff to open so many of those sites or attractions. So we're looking at identifying, what are some of the major destinations in Franklin County that need help. Another one would be Conococheague Institute. Their signage needs help. So we are searching for a sign company that might be willing to donate the signage, and then in exchange for some publicity, maybe put their name on the signage.
So for people interested in completing the program, is there a sign-up area or a times and dates, or give us some information for people who might be interested in volunteering?
You can visit another website, so I hope your pen is ready. CTAnetwork.com is where you go to sign up, and we do have 2 certification classes coming up in October. We have October 4 at the 1130 Visitor Center. That'll be from 8:30 to 12:30. There is a one-time $39 fee to sign up. Okay. And we do like people to sign up several weeks in advance because there is a fair amount of reading material. And unless you're a fast reader, you could read it it's a lot of reading. It's not a lot. It's a fair amount of reading.
Don't oversell it.
Yeah, don't oversell it. That's right. And then on October 10, we have another class in Waynesboro at the Waynesboro Chamber of Commerce.
Okay. So this would be a great thing for local businesses to get involved because, as you're saying, the marketer you just mentioned, they can get hashtagged or a shout out on a podcast. So there are ancillary benefits.
I'll give you an example of how the ambassador program can work for local businesses. WellSpan Health is on board, and we want to thank them for being a signature sponsor, and we'll give them a shout out. Also give a shout out to F&M Trust for being a signature sponsor. But there's a department at WellSpan called Physician Liaison, and so it's good for the human resource sector as well, because even for the school district, because there's a lot of people who are relocating to the area. And of course, if you're going to relocate to the area, you're probably going to need a job, unless you're retiring. But if a human resource professional has information about the quality of life, information a lot about the demographics, because I can guarantee you that if someone's thinking about relocating, they're not just looking at Franklin County. So there's evidence to show that the better off someone is with the information they have to answer questions. So the physician liaison department is going through the program to be able to answer those questions about quality of life, because again, if someone's thinking about relocating, they're not just looking at Franklin County.
Right. Another project you got going is a tourism summit. Doug, tell us about that.
A tourism summit is set for Thursday, September 26th from 8 to noon. And real briefly, it's a celebration of everything tourism. We will have Mickey Schaefer. She will be coming in from headquarters in Tucson, and she will be our keynote speaker, giving us a lowdown on tourism from a national perspective. We'll also have a question and answer panel, including Mike Ross, Janet Pollard, Katie Hess from the South Mountain Partnership. We also have representatives from the local Career Link coming in to be on the panel. And then towards the end, it'll be an interactive, hands-on session.
Okay, and that is, again, what date and time?
That's Thursday, September 26th from 8 to noon. You can register on Facebook. The tickets are free.
Okay, great, thanks. So as a certified tourism ambassador, you're both qualified. I'm going to ask you, what are some of the highlights? What's fun to do in Franklin County?
Angie, you want to take that one first?
Oh, I absolutely can. I am a foodie, so I enjoy giving recommendations to folks who are maybe passing through, or even friends and neighbors. Oh, have you tried such and such? You're going to love it. It's new. So making those kinds of referrals and connections in terms of giving people that pleasurable dining experience. I mean, I enjoy myself dining, taking pictures, and
sharing
sharing
those. You were just
those.
at Rice and Pho today,
Yeah,
right?
name
Yes,
some
I
names,
was.
will you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, believe it or not, there is a lot. When you think of Franklin County and you grew up here, you might just think of meat and potatoes right now.
That's all over with.
There are a
Right.
lot of meat and potatoes still out there. The diners, like Texas Lunch,
Yeah,
you can still get your gravy fries and your hot turkey sandwich.
Yeah.
But downtown, there's Rice and Pho. There's falafel. There's Square One. There's Brussels. There's Veroni.
For people who aren't from the area, Square One and Falafel Shack, two very distinct cuisines. Mm-hmm. And then the Rice and
Falafel's
Pho-
Mediterranean, and Square One I think would be more
Dominican,
Latin.
Yeah,
South maybe.
American.
Yeah, I think they kind of
South American.
It's a little bit of a melange,
Yeah.
but huge menu too.
Yeah, Inca.
Yeah, Inca
Inca's
as well.
out on Wayne Avenue. They moved from Lincoln Way, which is kind of ironic that they were next to Kentucky Fried Chicken when they're whole chicken. Nothing against Kentucky Fried Chicken, but
Well, that was the worst.
Delete.
That's the worst parking lot ever to get in and out
It
of
is.
that they were in, so they
Yeah.
needed to move. So what are some of the other things? So let's say I'm an outdoorsman.
Caledonia State Park. So we have some trivia question. We have a trivia question for you, Mr. Pete.
Okay.
So can you name the oldest state park in Pennsylvania? I'll give you a hint. It's somewhere in Franklin County.
Pine Grove Furnace.
You're close, but Mont Alto State Park is actually the oldest state park in Pennsylvania, 1902.
Nice.
So here's a bonus trivia question. What is the second oldest state park in Pennsylvania that is also in Franklin County? And you can't say Pine Grove Furnace again.
Caledonia.
Yes! Oh my God, this was not planned, folks. This was absolutely not planned. We're having a party right now.
I'm going to have to give an assist to Angie there. She kind of gave away the answer.
Oh, she knew though. She's listening. Good for her. Yeah.
Well, yeah, those are fantastic outings, both of those places.
Caledonia State Park is one of only very few parks in the whole country that has a pool, that has a golf course, and has a summer stock theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does have all those things. And then you've got the whole Michaud.
You've got Michaud, yes, one of the older state forests. That's actually where Penn State Mont Alto started the conservation movement in the early 1900s.
Now, that is a huge badge of honor for Franklin County. It's the first forestry program, I believe, in the United States.
That's correct.
I don't think it was the first. I think the first one was actually at University Park.
Come on. Work with me here, Doug.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just kidding. So what are some of the challenges of marketing Franklin County to the bigger world? Because there's a lot to do around us. As you're mentioning, DC's an hour and a half, Baltimore about the same. You're at the Holland Tunnel in about 3 hours. So what are some of the challenges?
Well, I don't really look at it as challenges. I look at it as opportunities because of where we're at. I mean, a lot of your locals, I think, understand what we've got, and will go out of their way to make visitors feel welcome. Again, we're just out there on the web. We're out there on social media.
And you got the new visitor center.
We do have the new visitor center. The visitor center, but before we go on, we have to give credit to our staff and our executive director. Janet Pollard she's been there since day one, maybe day two. I think Mary Harris was the first employee. But, Janet, she is really the one that deserves all the credit. There's no doubt about it. It was, over a $1 million renovation of the old Sovereign Bank building on the square here at 15 South Main. Place looks great. We do have a community room upstairs. If you haven't been in upstairs, you need to come down because it's the best view in town. CTAs also get perks. Christmas parade is the last Saturday before Thanksgiving. If you're a CTA, you get to come up to the community room and watch the parade and drink cocoa.
And it'll be warm, and you'll have a seat. And
Exactly. And you'll have the best view in town.
What are we famous for?
What are we famous for? Well, we're famous for Martin's Potato Rolls.
Okay.
We are famous.
That is true. I did not know their international reach.
Yes. They actually do have. They've been featured on Bobby Flay. They've been featured on Food Channel. They actually have a Martin's Potato Roll museum. And
here?
Yes. You got to go check it out.
Yeah, I'm on it.
It's open to the public. And what else? We're famous for peaches.
Yes, that is true.
We are very famous for peaches. We have the best peaches around. We have the Sun High and the Red Haven, which are, I just drove by Schatzer's the other day, stopped in. I'm not sure how they measure them, but I got a lot of peaches and 6 ears of corn for $8.
Not bad.
What else? The place was packed.
Yeah.
It's
not bad at all.
What else are we known for? We're known for a lot of Civil War history. John Brown, Frederick Douglass, the raid on Harper's Ferry, the Mary Rittner boarding house,
the old jail,
Underground Railroad, the old jail, going back to Revolutionary War. A lot of pre-Revolutionary War skirmishes happened in Franklin County at Fort Loudon in 1763.
And there's another thing that we're getting famous for, and that's our trail network in the Michaud Forest. I don't know if you all get out there.
Correct.
But
she can be an advocate for that.
Are you a runner or a mountain biker? Or just a hiker?
I am now a hiker. Years ago, I was a mountain biker, but my bones are far too brittle now to engage in that activity.
Sure. Yeah, you go out on the trails out in our area in the Michaud, and people are from all over the place. We did a hike just this past Sunday, and we were waiting for our friends to show up, and a group went by, and they were speaking German.
Yes. 2 of the mountain bike races that are hosted in Michaud, they're internationally renowned.
Yeah, they bring in a lot of people, and that's like it used to be kind of a secret.
Right.
People didn't know about it, but it's definitely become. And so, if any avid, trail runners or mountain bikers out there, oh my gosh! Right. And now we've got the Purple Lizard maps, so you can actually find the trails. But so it's a great place to visit. It's only gotten better over time. I want to thank you both for the work you're doing in elevating awareness, how great Franklin County is. I also kind of want to say, don't make it too great.
Right. On a serious note, it is definitely a fine line. But I think the commissioners, we got to give them credit for, and Mike Ross especially, you got to give those guys credit for keeping a pulse on, saving some agriculture land, and because we are second to fourth in the whole state in the production of apples, peaches, and corn, and I think sometimes government officials or local officials they get bashed for only, maybe we only see the wrong things that they're doing, but I really think that our commissioners are doing a really good job as far as planning and zoning and things like that to keep a balance between everything.
And that's important for quality of life. We don't want to discover traffic jams in downtown Chambersburg anytime soon.
Although only the locals know that you have to make 5 lefts and 2 rights and two diagonal turns to get downtown. But anyway,
these darn one-ways.
All right.
If we could do something about the one-ways, that would bring them in, wouldn't it?
Here we go.
That's another conversation. You finally hey, I'm sorry, we're out of time.
Exactly.
Well, thanks both for taking time out of your day to come on, and keep up the great work.
That's right.
Thanks a lot. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And find the Progress Pod online at progresspod.org. Thanks for listening.